I haven't had a chance to talk to him. In fact, I did go in. He hadn't gotten here yet. First time I went in there, but it's just good to see him feeling so good, and he could be available tonight. I can't answer that right now.
So you guys are then legitimately optimistic that he's not going to end up as an IL?
Yeah, we are. We are now, because it's not confirmed or anything. So, but yeah, we feel pretty good where he's at. But Lucky will let us know. This is again another deal. You got to rely on your medical people.
Is that a case where the versatility of this team really does help a situation like that, where you're not quite sure if he's maybe out a couple days or out one day, but the versatility of this team makes it where he can be out for a few days and you guys are fine?
Yeah, it does. I mean, you got Duran, that's similar type guy that can play anywhere. Miller, if we had to, we could put him left field or first base. There's always had a couple guys who are versatile the way they are. It's going to get to a point where you're going to have to rest some guys out there in the infield too. So that's why he's such an important part of our club. And plays short, third, second, first, wherever. But it does make it easier.
Lineup question for you. I talked to Robbie Grossman yesterday. He's like, I don't care where I am. I just want to play. I want to ring. Like I do not, literally don't care. Then you talk to Josh Young, and he talks about the confidence that you've shown in him to keep him in that 5 hole and how reassuring that is. So when you're balancing guys and different personalities and where they're comfortable, how does that play into your decisions as a manager when you fill up that lineup card?
Well, you're right. You nailed it. I mean, you have to balance, on the player, his makeup, his personality, and Robbie he's that kind of player. He just loves to play. He doesn't care where he plays. I'm sure when he plays, but he'll understand when he needs a day off, whatever. But Josh, here's a young player. He needs to know that we're behind him, and because you're going to have so many ups and downs, so it's important that we stay even keel. We want them to, and with the wins and the losses. And that's the case with all the guys. So again, we're all getting to know each other still, even though we've been together 6-7 weeks. It's still an ongoing process.
Does that play a part in, like, when you use Smith to close on Sunday? Knowing Smith and knowing Leclerc, knowing what the impact on both guys would be, because you spent some time around them now, does that play a part in why you're willing to do that?
It does. I don't have to touch base with them all the time if I do make a move like that. I did talk to Leclerc in spring training because he was planning on going to the WBC. I just said, hey, we haven't, because you were asking, the media I'm talking about who the closer was going to be. And I said, we haven't come up with the closer. He came back with, I don't care, if I'm the closer or not. I just want to win. So, it's the attitude that, as a manager, makes our job a lot less daunting when you have that kind of attitude throughout the clubhouse.
Has it been a pretty dramatic switch in the way you guys have been pitched from the first 2 games to the last 2?
Well, every staff's different. Some staffs they may be 4-seamers, they could be 2-seamer low ball guys. Some staffs are more breaking ball pitchers. I think that's fair to say with Baltimore. They do use it probably a little bit more than most clubs, but yet they still have the power on to go with it. So it's about us adjusting to the type of staff or that pitcher we're going to face.
Early, quick. I'm going to change the subject so we're still on
No.
Early on, how are you feeling? What are you seeing from Mitch and Jonah behind the plate, just as a whole?
Yeah, as a whole, I think both of them have done a great job. Jonah had a terrific game. Yeah, he didn't get a hit, but you want to remind these guys they can have a great game without getting a hit, and he did. 2 runs. I'll take that. I'll take my chances every day. He's giving up 2 runs. He did a great job with John and the bullpen. Made a beautiful throw to second. I mean, bang, bang play, and you know, they just have a lot of speed there. But, no, and I think Mitch, you know, I was talking to him yesterday. Is he surprised at where he's at, how good he feels as far as catching, throwing, and all that? And because you know he was behind starting spring training, and he's in a good place right now physically. In fact, he said I can go back to back now. That's how good I feel. So that's good news for us.
Coach, two guys who are really familiar with each other, Gibson and Garver, who, as a catcher, who has the advantage?
Yeah, you know, I get asked that a lot. You know, you're seeing it from a different perspective when you're catching a guy. But with that said, you do know his arsenal and, you know, kind of, you know, his tendencies. So I think anytime, you know, a hitter knows the pitcher a little bit or has faced him, he's got a reference. It's when you have the unknown. And that's when hitters will say, I don't know how his ball breaks or what. Throw more two-seamers, four-seamers, things like that. So, you know, I've always thought the hitter had a slight advantage. In fact, he knows his weapons.
Can I go back to Josh Smith for 1 second? No? Just one more thing.
Yeah.
On Josh Smith, I think you talked about this on the radio a little bit. You've gotten hit by a pitch in the face. What's going to be your biggest concern about for him getting back in there?
You know what? I won't have any concerns. I won't. Yeah, and I go on my own personal experience. I get hit playing one ball at the Dominican. I never saw the pitch. You know, but, you know, and luckily there wasn't damage done, whatever. But I had to miss 2 or 3 days. And I thought, well, this is going to be a little different. But you know, I got hit during a twilight game. Couldn't see, but once you know, we played at night or day game, then I felt comfortable. I could see the ball. With him, I just don't see it. Facing a lefty, you know, that you know might come into play a little, but I look at the man, who he is, and he wants to get back out and hit. He wanted to play today, so yeah, he wants to get back out there. So certainly no hesitation on his part. So that's what I feel good about.
Do you want to try get him back in the box against the lefty, like quickly, to? Or is that not important?
You know, I don't think it's important. You know, if it plays out, he faces the lefty, then you know it's going to be what it is. But, you know, I don't plan on starting against the lefty, to be honest. With you know, Duran here, Bubba, unless I have an infielder that needs a day. So no, he's going to be facing lefties. Going to come up like what happened yesterday. He hangs in there very well, so that's who he is. But again, just knowing him, he's not going to change. I don't see him, you know, bailing or anything. That's just not him.
Your approach with, speaking of Bubba, your approach with him right now, it seems like the most valuable weapon he has is speed, and you can potentially manipulate how you run things. Is that basically how you envision his role?
For the most part, I mean, I put him out there for defense too. You've seen that, but you know, he is a guy that gives us game-changing speed. But you know, he's going to have to get some starts at some time, some point here. We've got a day off coming up in a couple of days. As we get into this, you know, it's important that those guys get their 3 or 4 at bats in case. You know, like what happened yesterday. I got to throw him in the game, try to keep him going. But to your point, you know, it's kind of his major role right now, but not the whole role.
This is kind of a random question, but when Wash was here, we used to call it his wash gut. And it was like he would make some moves that we would kind of question, and then they more times than not seem to work out. Does that, your intuition, the Bochy gut, does that exist, and does it take time to manifest and getting to know your players and that relationship development?
Yeah, and you know, Wash, I mean, that's as much as he's been around the game, he's going to have that, and I have it. I think you something that we came up with and how we started. It wasn't so much moves were dictated by numbers or anything. So, I think that's fair to say. Yeah, I have it, and that's getting to know your players. To your point, they're going to help you make your decisions based on your gut, but on what you're seeing too. You know when the guy's swinging good or he's not, or the pitcher's he's in a good zone. These type of things. The numbers may not say it. There'll be times when you'll ask me why I did something. I get it. That's part of y'all's job, but I got to do what I think is right. But with that said, I'm getting all the info I can. Trust me. We have a great baseball ops here, and they've been a tremendous help.
Anything new on Leo?
No, you watch his BP. He's letting it go right-handed. He's close. He's close. So I'll have something for you tomorrow before we leave. Exactly what the plan is. But he's doing everything. So.
Is he hitting live now from the right side? Or just
We'll get that plan. I got it. I'll get that for you.
Thank you, Bochy.
You got it.